I decided to don't make the step up and go inside. But yeah, anyway, it was good.
Okay, just stay there for a moment. My next guest is here as well, team owner, team manager for Gariboldi, Honda ESTA, Giacomo Gariboldi. How are you? Just waiting to maybe turn the mic on there with Giacomo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we have you now.
Okay.
Giacomo, I spent some time with you this weekend. We did the team report around the team. It's all changed for you. You spent 7 years at Yamaha and now you're at Honda. It must have been a tough decision to make this, or not. I don't know.
No, yes. In fact, it was very tough to change after 7 years to Honda. But at the end of last season, we saw that Honda didn't have an MX2 team, and we thought that that was a great opportunity for us to change. And we found some people pushing for this decision, and we made it. I think now we are very happy with everything, and I think this will improve with the next season, because the Japanese are interested in the MX2 class. So hopefully we will get more and more support.
And obviously, two young riders, Max and Steve, first of all. He spent a lot of time growing up and racing in the USA.
Yes.
So he has the experience of motocross and supercross.
Yeah.
And obviously, you mentioned a moment ago as well, it's important to have a team like Honda in MX2 with some factory support, which I believe you get from Paolo Martin and the factory team in MX1. The development of the bike must have come quite in a short space of time.
Delay. Yeah. Because we had to prepare the bike for the Supercross in US, so we focused at the beginning on the Supercross and preparing the bike for Max for Anaheim 1, and that was a different engine and a different bike, different settings, suspensions. So then we had to prepare another bike and another engine for the World Championship. So we had to restart from zero because we couldn't use the experience we made in US. But now I feel we have reached a very good step. Only problem now at the moment are the starts. And the day we will take a good start in front, I think Max can ride with the top riders there in top 5. So far we've been a bit unlucky with the starts, but this will come.
Conditions, as Jake Nichols and Jonathan Barrington a moment ago were saying, were pretty difficult, certainly in MX2. See, from the lap chart, Max, when he came around the first lap, was actually 14th, but he came from outside the top 20, actually.
Yeah.
Were you happy with the performance? He finished 10th, he got to 9th place. What happened in the last 3 or 4 laps? He crashed, or just
No, he lost his goggles, and he couldn't see in front. He said that he was faster than Tonus and Koldenov. When he got to Tonus, he couldn't see in front of him, and he had to slow down. So he said I couldn't really pass them because I couldn't see anything.
And was he happy with the performance of himself, Max?
No, he was not happy at all, because he said that if he starts in the top 5, he can ride in top 5. So he's sure about this. He showed that he can do that. And of course, we are not happy about the 10th position.
And of course, it's been a big change as well for Max, hasn't it? Coming from living in the UK or living in Belgium or Holland, having to live with you close to the workshop. How's he finding that, living in Italy?
I think he's enjoying it a lot, because we have so many tracks around, and the workshop is just a few minutes away from the apartment we have there. He likes his life in Italy.
Okay. And what about Alexander Tonkov, your second rider? Young Russian. He's an exciting kid.
Yes.
He's a young rider, but just unlucky so far this year.
I think every year he's a bit unlucky because he gets hurt. And he started very well this season. He had a very good winter training, and he showed this in the first 2-3 GPs, riding in the top 7-8. And then he broke his elbow in training just before leaving for Mexico and Brazil. And that was a big problem for him, because he couldn't train, he couldn't ride, and now he's back, but he's feeling still a lot of pain when he's riding. So I think we may skip the next GP with him and point to the next one.
Yeah, I was talking to our German commentator Ulf this morning, Ulf Simon, and he mentioned that he'd been in and spoken to you this morning and said you had an X-ray again recently and the elbow is still broken. So
really broken, and so today he took a bit of a risk to ride in those conditions, but he said, I'm here, I want to try to make some points, but better now to wait a couple of GPs and...
Yeah, I guess for him, one of the important races now is going to be, okay, he will miss Bastogne in Belgium in 1 week. He will miss maybe Sweden?
No, Sweden, he'll be back for Sweden, because we have done 2 weeks before Sweden.
And then, of course, we get to Latvia and Russia. This is going to be his own GP. It's going to be important for the team as well, because you have a Russian sponsor as well.
Exactly. We have ESTA, which is a huge company for gas extraction in Russia, so we have to go there and do some good results.
And I know Alexander spends a lot of time living in Europe. He's not really been back. So
he's an Italian.
Yes.
Now.
But I guess he's going to be looking forward to having what would be his first home Grand Prix in Russia. Because I think there'd be a big crowd there, because not only do we have Alexander Tonkov, we also have Bobby as well. And it's the Russian time is coming again, isn't it, in terms of the development of the young riders? It's taken a few years, but we seem to be getting there.
But yesterday we were together for dinner, and he was saying that, in fact, behind them there is really not anymore a Russian school for motocross, as it was before. So not many young riders coming after them.
Okay. But new circuit next week, Bastogne.
Yes.
What do you know about it? Have you seen anything about it?
No, just some videos about it, but I don't know what will be.
Okay. I just realised, actually, talking to you yesterday, Kayaba, Max is using the new air suspension.
Yes.
How much time have you spent with this? What is the system? Is it, you don't have springs?
No, not at all. It's air and oil. And it's different from the fork which will come on the stock for 50 Honda at the end of the season. It's a full factory fork. We've been spending 2 weeks on that fork, working on the fork, on the settings, so just a few times. But really today and yesterday we were impressed how it works. Max feels really a big improvement.
And you made a lot of changes to the bike anyway. Again, just spending some time with you. You know, in America, the Hondas get, a lot of good starts. They get good results with Barsha, with Tomac, in the past also with Trey Canard, and certainly in the lights class. But we haven't seen that. We've seen the dominance from Kawasaki and KTM the last few years in Europe. How big was the development program for you? I know you said it was a very steep learning curve and everything else, but where you started with a production engine, which way did you go then? Did you go immediately to Paul Martin, or do you get any parts from Japan?
Yeah, Paul Martin is in constant touch with Japan, with Taichi, with the chief of the CRF project on Honda, so he gets feedback almost every week for developing the engine. He gets some parts, but everything is done by Paul Martin and the Japanese. We are trying now to get in touch through Roger Harvey with Honda Gecko to get some exchange of information about the engines, and this will come not immediately, but I believe before the end of the season we will start to cooperate with them.
Okay, and so there's no timeline at the moment then as to if, not when, but if you can get some parts?
We expect a step up with the engine around Sweden. We expect new parts coming for Sweden, so it should be more performant, the engine at that point.
In MX2, you're a relatively new team. Only come in sort of in 2010, I think.
Third season in World Championship.
But before that, a lot of people may know, but again, equally many people might not know that we were European champions with Christophe Charlier.
We dominated the 2009 season, beating almost every weekend Jeffrey Erlings. And in 2008 we were leading the European Championship with Boutron. Maybe nobody remember this, but then he got injured. So I think now it's the 8th season with the team, and we have a bit of experience now. And especially we have Massimo Castelli, who has 25 years experience.
And he's worked with some good teams as well, hasn't he?
Top teams, yeah.
Yes, I mean, in terms of everything that you need to improve, your position in the World Championship is pretty much good. The final question then for you, Giacomo. What is the plan? Where do you want Max to finish in the World Championship this year?
Top 5 would be for me, for the first year, with a new brand, new bike, new everything, would be perfect. I would be more than happy.
Okay, well, Giacomo, thanks for joining us here on our live show today. Of course, Jake Nichols, who's away in MX2 in a moment, and Jonathan Barragan from LS Honda. Good to have those guys in our studio show. In 1 week's time,